Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Tombstone Tourist. For the past several weeks, I've been visiting the Woodlawn Memorial Park here in Nashville, Tennessee, where we have visited some of the many country music personalities that are resting in this very large cemetery. In those videos, we have visited the likes of Porter Wagoner, Marty Robbins, Wilma Lee, and Stoney Cooper, along with Jim Ed Brown, Tammy Wynette, and Little Jimmy Dickens. While I've just scratched the surface of the notable people that are resting here in this rather large cemetery, this will be my last video from here, at least for a while. In my last video, I visited the final resting place of the possum, the great George Jones. This week, I'm going to walk just a few steps from the grave of George Jones and visit the man who made the phrase, "Take this job and shove it," the anthem of the working man everywhere. Let's visit the final resting place of Johnny Paycheck. Johnny Paycheck was born Donald Eugene Little on May 31st, 1938 in Greenfield, Ohio. By the time he was 9 years old, he was entertaining and winning local talent contests, which led to him launching his professional career when he was only 15 years old. In the 1950s, Johnny enlisted into the United States Navy. It was while in the Navy that he suffered his first of many legal problems. He was court-martialed for assaulting a naval officer and served 2 years in a military prison. After being released from prison, he was discharged from the Navy. Johnny moved to Nashville and he played with such stars as Ray Price and George Jones. It was his association with George Jones that he began making a name for himself not only as a musician, but as a songwriter. He co-wrote George Jones' hit, "Once You've Had the Best," and later wrote "Apartment Number 9, which was Tammy Wynette's first hit in 1966. In 1964, Johnny legally changed his name to Johnny Paycheck, taking the name from a little-known boxer named Johnny Paycheck, who spelled his name Paycheck. One of his first hits under his new name was "Don't Take Her, She's All I Got," which reached number 2 on the country charts. Johnny saw the success that Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson were having and went about changing his image to that of an outlaw country music star. In 1977, Johnny would record his biggest hit, a song written by his friend David Allan Coe called "Take This Job and Shove It." The song was an instant hit, reaching number 1 on the country charts and selling more than 20 million records. It would be Johnny's only number 1 hit. Johnny would follow up "Take This Job and Shove It" with popular songs like "Slide Off Your Satin Sheets" and "I'm the Only Hell My Mama Ever Raised." The success of "Take This Job and Shove It," along with these other popular songs, allowed Johnny to receive the Academy of Country Music's Career Achievement Award in 1977. With success came a mountain of troubles. Over the years, it was well documented that Johnny was addicted to drugs and alcohol. And in 1981, Johnny was arrested in Wyoming for statutory rape. But because the alleged victim was reluctant to testify, Johnny eventually pled guilty to a misdemeanor and fined $1,000. A $3 million civil suit was later filed and eventually dismissed. His legal troubles continued in 1985 when he was convicted of shooting a man in Ohio. He eventually was found guilty and sentenced to 7 years in prison. After serving 22 months of his sentence, Ohio Governor Richard Celeste pardoned Johnny and he was released. After his release from prison, Johnny stayed sober and appeared to have his life in order. But his career as an entertainer was essentially over. With legal bills coming due and tax problems with the IRS, he had no choice but to file for bankruptcy in 1990. He tried to regain the success that he once enjoyed, but was largely unsuccessful, and found himself playing in little-known honky-tonks and bars for a fraction of what he once earned. Johnny was a lifelong smoker and suffered from emphysema and asthma. These health issues would eventually claim his life. Johnny Paycheck passed away at the age of 64 on February the 19th, 2003. He is resting here in the Garden of the Grand Tour at Woodlawn Memorial Park in a plot that was donated by his longtime friend, George Jones. Well, this brings us to the end of our visit to Nashville's Woodlawn Memorial Park. This is a large and star-studded cemetery that is the final resting place of country music royalty. People like Porter Wagoner, Marty Robbins, Jim Ed Brown, Little Jimmy Dickens, and George Jones are just a few of the notable personalities that are resting here. Over the past few weeks, I've been on the road visiting graves of a number of notable people who are buried in the states of Alabama, Mississippi, Maryland, North Carolina, and back to my home state of Virginia. So if you want to keep up with my adventures, I hope you'll ring that bell and subscribe so that you will get the notifications when I post a new video. And if you're so inclined, a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Now, until next time, please remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everyone.